This diagram shows the classic 19th century 2-3-5 pyramid formation. For decades, the tactics board looked exactly like this, a collection of fixed, localized dots constrained to specific spots on the pitch. Modern elite football operates on a different logic. Players are constantly rotating and vacating their nominal areas, effectively ignoring the static coordinates of that old map. This shift was accelerated by chronological changes to the laws of the game, like the 1992 backpass rule. By removing the goalkeeper's right to handle deliberate passes from teammates, the game forced every player on the pitch to adapt to active outfield duties. Within this modern framework, a position consists of specific spatial behaviors and functional duties that shift depending on where the ball is and where the space is opening up. To decode how modern attacks are built, we have to look past the labels on a team sheet and identify the specific actions players take to manipulate the opponent's structure. We begin at the goal line. For most of the sport's history, the laws of the game defined the goalkeeper as a localized shot stopper, a reactive guardian who rarely strayed from the immediate vicinity of the posts. This map shows the modern sweeper keeper in the build-up phase. The keeper steps out, forming a horizontal three-man passing chain with the center backs. Since the opposing goalkeeper remains deep, this extra body generates an 11 versus 10 advantage to bypass high-pressing forwards. Moving into the defensive line, central defenders have evolved into two distinct profiles. The aggressive stopper focuses on physical dominance and aerial duels, while the ball-playing center back functions as a deep quarterback, orchestrating the attack with long switches and line-breaking passes. On the flanks, the traditional fullback maintains a conservative defensive shape to block crosses. Contrast that with the modern wingback, an engine room role that requires the stamina to cover the entire touchline from the defensive fifth to the attacking third. The evolution reaches terminal velocity with the inverted fullback. As seen here with Philipp Lahm, these defenders drift centrally during possession, joining the midfield to create a temporary double pivot. The modern defensive unit functions as the team's structural foundation, safely progressing the ball from the back into the midfield engine room. The central third of the pitch acts as the tactical connector, responsible for controlling tempo, managing the transition between defensive recovery and offensive creativity. At the base of the midfield sits the number 6, often playing as a destroyer. Archetypes like Gennaro Gattuso use physical tenacity and aggressive tackling to screen the backline and break up opposition plays. Alternatively, a team might deploy a regista, or deep-lying playmaker. Instead of physical challenges, Andrea Pirlo relies on constant scanning and technical composure to dictate the pace of the game from a deep position. Further forward, the number 8 central midfielders provide the aerobic engine. A box-to-box midfielder like Lothar Matthäus requires the high stamina necessary to win duels in their own box and arrive late to finish chances in the opponent's area. Specialized roles like the carrilero provide lateral cover for attacking fullbacks, while the Mezzala operates as a half-winger, making underlapping runs into the spaces between the opponent's midfield and defense. Arriving at the number 10, or attacking midfielder, we find the Enganche. As shown by Juan Román Riquelme, this is a stationary central reference point who orchestrates the attack while more mobile teammates run around them. The overarching function of the midfield is to bridge the gap between structural defense and the attacking vanguard, managing the vital transitions where matches are won and lost. At the highest point of the pitch, the traditional target man uses physical size to win aerial duels. Players like Zlatan Ibrahimovic use their strength to hold up the ball, allowing the rest of the team to advance. The false 9 takes a more technical approach. Instead of pinning the defenders back, players like Mario Götze deliberately retreat into the midfield, acting as an extra playmaker. This retreat has a specific spatial consequence. When the forward drops deep, they often drag a central defender with them, leaving a massive gap in the backline for wide teammates to exploit. On the flanks, a player's dominant foot dictates their function. Conventional wingers stay wide on their natural side to maximize the pitch's width and deliver crosses into the box. Conversely, inverted wingers and inside forwards play on the opposite side of their stronger foot. This allows them to cut sharply into the center to shoot or combine with the midfield. These modern attackers function as spatial disruptors, utilizing off-the-ball movement and positional variety to systematically deconstruct an opponent's defensive lock. These individual archetypes reach their full potential when interlocked into tactical formations designed to manipulate space as a cohesive unit. The traditional flat 4-4-2 provides clear lateral defensive coverage, but the rigidity of its lines often leads to numerical overloads in the center of the pitch when facing more fluid systems. The 4-3-3 geometry naturally creates passing triangles for easy progression. Watch it morph into a 3-2-4-1. Inverting a fullback creates a box midfield, generating a central overload. This forces the defense inward, opening half spaces for playmakers to penetrate. In the modern game, the traditional distinctions between defense, midfield, and attack have integrated into a single functional system. Understanding elite football means looking past the individual players and watching how the entire unit controls the space.